Hi everyone. So we are going to start the sixth episode of Anyone Python today. Okay, so let me check the Trinity and Unji join. Yes, to make her co-host and Unji. Yes. Okay, great. So let me stop the sharing. And hi everyone. So good morning and good afternoon and also good evening. So some of you guys are in Asian countries, so good morning also. Okay, so just like the last time, let's start today's episode with a stretch. Okay, so if we have the in-person, the lesson, there are a lot of things we can do, like the stretch with something, the favorite, the stuff that we can talk, and but this is the online meeting. But so I try to start. You can keep the stretching, and I try to start with the quick survey. So I send out the very quick question, which OS operating system are you using now? So either the Windows or Mac OS, so some of you probably use the Linux system. And also if you are using any other operating system for these classes, so you can just select. Probably it will be Android OS or the iOS, so it's fine. So just select the others. Let's see how many of you are using the each operating system quickly. Okay, so I'm going to close the poll a minute. Okay, so and also you guys keep stretching out before we start today's lesson. Okay. As a user, please mute your audio and turn on your video, and also use your full name. Then we can identify who you are. So let's end the poll here. Then I'd like to share the result. So you can see the result like this. The Windows user is 54%, more than half, and the Mac OS is following, and there's 36%, and others probably from the cell phone, iOS or the Android. So I think that this is normal. So the reason I'm asking that the survey is I received the question from the Stefan Kim. He asked me that I have a question regarding computers. So why do you use Mac for programming? What makes you prefer that over Windows? So thank you and stay safe, Professor. So he asked me the why I'm using, as you know, that I'm using MacBook. So which means I'm using Mac OS as an operating system. We talk about what is operating system, the probably episode 2. So operating system is the software between computer and user, like me or you. Then without operating system, we cannot use computing power, computing resource. So through the operating system, we can do gaming, we can chat, we can do the program like this. That is operating system. For example, Windows and Mac OS, and also we have Linux. None of us use the Linux, but the Linux is also a very popular operating system nowadays. And the Unix system and the Android, actually, more than that. So there exists really a lot of different operating systems. Simply, the computer, without the operating system, nothing you can do. So which means all computer system has at least one operating system. Then why I'm using the Mac OS? So Mac and Windows are different. So as you know, it's a lot different. Actually, basically, it's the same operating system, but they are different. So here is the short story of the operating system. Operating system started from the 1970. So modern operating system started in 1970. So a lot of time, if you your device or computer out of power, out of battery, sometimes the time is reset to 9070. So it's not surprising. Every time it's 9070 because the first operating system, which is called the Unix system, was born 1970. Okay, it's younger than me, but they start. After that, the Unix system was the first operating system. Then the Bill Gates developed a new operating system in his garage. The end of 1970 and the 1980 and so on, which is called the Windows. Then the first commercial version of Windows. Windows is, as you can see right now, it's a window. It's a rectangular shape. It's an interface. So he focused on such a nice interface, nice graphic for operating system. Then the first commercialized Windows operating system was born the 1991 and 1992 Windows 3.1. Okay, even before you were born. So then Steve Jobs, when he started his first business, Apple computer and so on, he also thought about is there any nice interface like the graphical user interface? So like the Windows, so he developed a similar window, the interface which is called Aqua. So then there's a early 1990, I cannot remember. It's a very similar time as Windows. Then the day has been developed a lot, but simply the Mac OS borrow a lot of things from the Unix system, Linux system. So also the reason I'm using the MacBook right now, I have been using Windows for a long time. So 1992, 1993, then almost the 15, 17 years I have been using the Windows, but I changed it, my operating system, my laptop to MacBook because Mac provide a lot the terminal interface. As you can see, I have used a lot of this one, the terminal, like this. Let me share. So let me share the screen. So this is terminal Windows. It's the low-level interface. This is just command line interface, but I can do anything with a simple interface. This is the first reason I'm using the Mac, but it depends. Not all of you guys need such a terminal interface. So sometimes you need more graphics. Then it depends on your preference or your need. So there's no general rule which one is better, which one is the criteria. It depends on your preference. Okay, so that's my answer for the Stepan Games, the questions. So thanks so much. Then today we are going to start with very simple programming. So please download the zip file that I sent. So if you do not have the email right now, so you can check the chatting box. There is a link to download the zip file. Then as a user, download the file, save the file to the anyone Python folder. You can see my anyone Python folder is here. Then save the file under the anyone Python folder like this. Then the uncompress. Mostly Windows, MacBook, if you right click or if you double click, it extract the file. So for example here, if I double click, then the anyone Python 06 is great. This is the file that we are going to use today's lesson. Okay, so please go ahead. As I said, do not watch me. Do not listen the lesson. Okay, so without your typing, without your trying, it's a waste of your time, even waste of my time. So please do something. Okay, this is not the drama. This is not something music. This is the Python exercise. So like if you want to be a baseball player, you need to play. If you're just watching the game, you cannot be a nicer, better player. So please do something with your computer. Okay, so download the file, then save the file. or sometimes you can move to the anyone Python folder. So as I said, in this, the anyone Python system, I'm going to use only this folder, none other. So then you can save the file, unzip, or the uncompress, then they'll be ready. Then the next step is, what is the next step? You can start come on, yes, the PyCharm. So my PyCharm is started. So please start your PyCharm. Okay, so we install the PyCharm. If you do not have a PyCharm, please watch the previous video. Then you can install the PyCharm and set up as we need. So there are two options. We are not going to create the project, but after you complete the anyone Python, you should be able to create your own program. But right now, we are starting the Python program with the Carol. So we are going to open. So always go to the anyone Python folder under the desktop. Then yes, we are going to select the any Python E06 episode 6. But if you are using the Windows, okay, so sometimes you may see the two folder most of the time. So then, for example, the any Python E06 and another anyone Python E06. Then please select the most inner the folder. Okay. So that is a slightly different thing. Then if you select this one, then open. So PyCharm start today's project. Okay. I like BTS, but I don't like the BTS during the lesson. Okay, so you probably already know what is the next step. So we are going to click the arrow next to the any Python E06 folder. Then you please ignore two folder, Carol and Word. Okay, please ignore. We are not going to use that. So first, today's lesson starts with the place many beeper. Okay, so double click place many beeper. Then you will see the almost the same windows that we have used so far. The quick review, one more time, the three part. So first part is, so this one, this is the import. So we are not going to make the new Carol. Carol is already created by the Stanford. So we are going to import. So that is the first part. The second part is if. So this one is the first command to start your code. Okay. So what is the first code? So it called the main. Where is the main? Main is here. So this part, what you are going to modify. So this is a place where you code. So then keep in mind, pass is not required in our program. Please delete, or another way is we can use the hashtag. Okay. So clear. Then let me show you today's problem. So today's problem is called the place many beeper. So first start with very simple problem. I'm going to give you the 1 minute to solve this problem. Carol started here. Okay. Then the Carol put the beeper, the 2,1 place here, which means you know what you need to do. After you place the 1 beeper, then move to the here 3,1 place. So very simple. Start right now. Okay. So I will give maybe the 10 seconds, maybe enough. So if you are done, please give me the thumbs up. Then I can see how many of you did. So wow, a lot of you already did. So Brandon and Amanda and Hewan and Priscilla, am I correct to pronounce? Okay, very nice. And Mona and Jonathan, very nice. So let's see, and Elisa also did. So let's see, solve the problem. I'm going to delete the past. Then the first one is, anyone give me the command? Yes, the move. And next, yes, put beeper. Then move. Yes, very nice. So then we need to check how do you learn the Python program in Python. Click any arrow here or the run and this one. So I'm going to use the easy way to run this program. Then you will see this window. Then run the program. Move, put, yes, that's too easy, right? So everybody did. So this is not today's problem. Why don't you put it's the same thing, but put the 5 beeper this time. Do it. So 5 beeper. We didn't put the multiple beeper before, but this time, why don't you put the 5 beeper in the same place, 5, okay? So please put the 5 beeper. If you are done, please give me a thumbs up, then I can see. Yes, the Jonathan did. And anyone else, 5 beeper. 5 beeper. Katie did, very nice. So this is too also easy. So so how did you do that? So just put beeper and also put beeper. It's tired, so I'm going to copy and paste. Copy and paste. So let's copy. Whew, we did. But if I ask you, what about the 10 beeper? Some of you maybe copy and paste, but we don't want to do that. As I said before, computer science, computer scientist, any program, IT. So we really hate such a boring job, repeated job, okay? So one way we can use is, we can make if we wanna put the 10 beeper, instead of the typing 10 times, what can be the solution? What will be the solution? So we can create function to the put beeper, 5 beeper. So for example, like this. So I'd like to create the put 5 beeper. This is a function. Then always end with parentheses followed by colon. This is a rule, okay? So enter, and also another thing, you need to keep the indentation. This show where is the boundary, right? So let me copy and paste this one and put over here. So we create the function to put 5 beeper. Then we are going to call this one 2 times. We can simplify the problem, right? So let's run the program. So run the program. How many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, then move. We can do the more, right? So what about the 15 and 14? But still we need to call the put 5 beeper again and again. Also, what about if I ask you to put the 14 beeper? How can you solve the problem? 14 beeper. we need to run, then put beeper. How many times? 4 times. Put beeper. Oops, it's really tired. So in case even there is a mistake, syntax error, this is usually happen. Why? Because we type again and again. This is a really boring job. So error, yay. Then I'm going to run this program, whether it works or 14. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. Don't worry. Yes, so I'm going to run the program. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and going on and going on. And 13, 14, yes, it's served. But I don't think it's a really good way and nice way to solve the problem. Okay, so today we are going to see, is there any nice fancy way to solve this problem? So which is called I'm going to give the answer. So it's a loop. It's called a loop. And there are different types of loop in computer science. Today, I'm going to introduce the for loop. This is called the for loop to solve such a really boring, tedious job, the repeated and the repeated job. Okay, this is what we're gonna do today. So let's start here. Let me go back to my whiteboard and share this. My iPad is sleeping. Okay. So let me start with, actually, as I probably mentioned, my undergraduate college major was mathematics. So I really liked the math when I was a kid, and also believe it or not, so I'd like to be a mathematician. So let me start with the math today. So if you already took the like the algebra 2, like the middle school or the 9th grade, you know, this kind of thing. So for example, 1, 3, 5, 7. What is the next number? 9. So Daniel and Amanda said the next one will be 9. Yes, it's correct. How do you know that? So there is a pattern, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. So then we can find such a pattern. That's the one of the very interesting problem in math. So this kind of problem is called what? Anyone? Name of this problem? Any high school student? It's called the sequence. Sequence. In Korean, it's called the 수열, and in Chinese, I'm not sure that it's correct. So I'm not very good at Chinese, but it's called the sequence. So one of the very interesting and very important characteristic of the math number is, anyone can, what is the most important and interesting characteristic of the number in math? These are the number, right? Then what is the most, why we define we'd like to find the general form of this? general form is 2n minus 1, like this. Then n is positive integer, like that. Then why we are going to find such a general form? Because in our nature, number is not finite, which means there's no end of number, infinity number, right? Is there anyone who count all the number that exist in universe? No one, right? There's no end, there's no the boundary of the number. So that such an infinity is the most important but most difficult problem. It's very difficult to deal with. So think about, is it true or false? A plus B is equal to B plus A. In integer number, is it true or false? True. How do you know that? Did you test all the case of the such a plus B is equal to B plus A? A is infinity number, B is infinity. So nobody actually checked this one for the infinity number. So people actually the long time ago think about how can we deal with such an infinity number? How can we prove such the infinity number without the checking each and every case? So at that time, the people find the way to deal with the infinity number. So which is called, anyone who knows? What is the way to deal with such an infinity number? Anyone? You already know. You already use a lot, which is called, it's called the set. So set is a very interesting concept. So, and also you already know about the set. So for example, so when we talk about the positive integer, so we can say 1, 2, 3, ... and we use parentheses. Then, so this is called the set of what? It's a positive integer set. So we can, even though we do not know the end of such a number, but we consider this is the positive integer set I. So instead of using this one, each and every case, we can just say I is the positive integer, like that. This is it just looks like the simple and obvious, but very important concept when you understand the mathematics. So one of the difficult, a lot of students actually struggle. Math is difficult, math is not easy. The first struggling is from such an infinity. Because our life, think of how many fingers you have. It's just 10. How many? Everything is finite. It's determined. It's a set. It's finalized. But the number is infinity. So how can we deal with the infinity? Then we are going to define I is the set for positive integer. Then we have element, like this. So this is a set, as you know. So if you already took the algebra class, you already know about such a set. In computer would like to borrow this idea. This is a math, and in computer programming, we'd like to borrow this idea. Because for what? Because computer really hate the repeated job. Repeated how many times? It's a finite number, but we are going to use idea of this set, okay, to deal with repeated job again and again, okay. So think about, so I'd like to I'm teacher. So I'd like to calculate at the end of semester. I think that many of you guys are facing the end of semester. Even though this is a pandemic situation, you are going to close your semester. Then the last thing that your teacher need to do is calculating your GPA. So what is a GPA? It's the average of your score. Okay. Then how can you calculate? It's a simple add up and divide by the number of subjects, like this. So sum of all your score and divide by number of your subject. But your teacher calculate the GPA for each student, for every student. So if your teacher calculate the GPA, this one, the A student, and do it again and again, typing again and again, ABC, all the student, it really takes a long time, it's boring, okay? Instead, just simply say to the computer, for each student, calculate the GPA. Then that's it. No matter how many number of students you have, don't worry, just for every student. So if we change this problem in, so using math and in computer programming, so for each student, where's the student? Student is the set. And how many students you have? We don't know, but we have the Abby, Brian, and Charlie, and so on, Joe, ... So we have a number of students. Then for each student, we calculate, so compute GPA. So for each student, which means first Abby's GPA, then next Brian's GPA, then next and Charlie's GPA, and so on, and up to Zhao's GPA. So we can simplify just using for each with such a set, then compute the GPA. We don't have to compute the GPA of Abby, compute GPA of Brian, compute GPA of the Charlie, compute GPA blah blah. We don't have to do that. Instead, for each student, and compute the GPA. Then we can simplify. So this is called, in computer system, it's called the iteration. This is a very similar concept as a sequence in math. But in computer system, it's called the iteration. Iterate, repeat, and repeat. I have been using name of repetition, but repeat means in computer is an iteration. So for this iteration, Python also provide the command to deal with this repeated job, iteration. So that is called, finally, it's called the for loop. So loop means iteration, but we are not going to use in our Python program, instead in. So there are two parts we can put. Always end with the colon. Then your command, like the compute GPA, will be here. Then GPA of what? So we are going to put here student. So which means, so there are two parts, X, Y. So Y part is what? What's gonna be in the Y part? Student, right? So student means it's a group of data, group of students. So this is called, in computer system, it's called array. It's the same as a sequence in math. Or sometimes it's called the list. So simply, it's a group of data like the students. Very nice, student. For each student, we are going to put one student by one student, one by one, to here. So I will be changed depending on the student. Like for example, if a student is Abby, Brian, Charlie, and Zhao, so first iteration, loop is A. So A's GPA. Then next student is B student, and C student, and C student, Zhao. So I will be temporary name. In other words, element of the student. For each student, calculate the GPA. So this is the way to write the for loop in computer Python program, for and in. Remember, so for and in. Then today, instead of the defining student, we are going to use a very simple the function to create the such a group of data, which is called range. So range is a function to create the numbers. So for example, it's a very simple. If you put the 5 over here, so range 5 means same as what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So how many numbers will create it? 5 of them. So for example, range 10 means how many? 10 numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 9 will be created. Then if you wanna repeat the 42 times, what will be? Range 42. 0, 1, 2, 41. So you may be curious why 4 is the last one. Think about computer always start with a 0. It's a binary, 0, 1. So always start 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number. If you give the range 10, start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, like this. So this is a range. Then we can use the range for repetition, for iteration. Okay? So then we can give the indentation for the block. So let's go back to our program. So stop share. Let me. So here, the problem is, can we create the 42 beeper? 42 beeper. So how can we do that? Using such a loop. So first, we are not going to use such a stupid function. So let's delete. So then, how to create the 42? Just delete such a stupid code. Instead, to create the 42 beeper, 4, then we need to give I. I is a temporary space. Temporary space, temporary the number for each element. Then in. So for in is required. Then range. So how many times? 42 times. You can give the number of times parentheses. Then always end with this. Then how many? So what is the command for each iteration? For each loop? It's a put beeper. That's it. Very simple. Right? So first run the program, then you will see. Run the program. Let's see how many of them. If you cannot wait, you can little bit speed up. See, 42 beepers. You can see the number over here. So number is 42 beepers stack up. Okay, then move to the next. So we solve the problem such a way. So this is the way to deal with such a repeated job. Repeated job means it's an iteration in Python programming. How can you do that? So using for and in. Then in, we need to give the set. Set means it's a group of data, but we do not have such a group of data. We don't know how to create. Instead, just a number. So when you use the range, 42 means it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 41. 42 numbers will be created. Then for each number, I is 0, I is 1, I is 2, I is 3, and I up to 41. Then every time put beeper. So how many beepers are created? 42 beepers will be added. Okay, so this is the for loop. It's a very, very nice way, easy way to deal with boring job. Okay, so best way to understand practice. So I'm going to give another problem. This is a different problem. It's called the corner beeper. So carrier will start from here, 1, 1. Then the carrier move to the here, to here, this corner. Then put beeper. And going to another corner, put beeper. Another corner, put beeper. Another corner, put beeper. Okay. So the problem, I will give maybe 87 seconds, maybe enough. If you are sure how to, if you try to use the for loop to solve the problem, at that time, think about what will be the loop part. How can you find? Please use the decomposition. Okay. When you design your program, think about which part can be repeated. At that time, please use the new program corner beeper. So please use the corner beeper. So this is a new program for the corner beeper. So please use this one. So if you are done, please give me thumbs up. Anyone who solved the problem? Wow, Priscilla, so very nice. And Katie, very nice. And Jonathan did. And Katie did. Anyone else? Yes, Kiki. Kiki, your brother is using, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so very good. I think that many of you solved the problem. So let's solve the problem together. So here, to solve the problem, first delete the path. Then, so we are going to identify which will be the for loop path. So if we go back to here, the problem is the first carrier is moving, right? You can put the beeper first, but you can move first. Either way is fine. So here the beeper is moving, move 1, 2, 3, 4 times and put beeper. and turn left. Move, and put beeper, and turn left. And you still repeat it. Move, and put beeper, and turn left. Move, put beeper, turn left. So move. 4 move and turn. The put beeper, turn left. It's repeated. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times is repeated. So we are going to make the program. So using the for loop. So how many times? So it's 4 times. 4 I. I'm going to explain why we are using I. Can I use X? It's fine. Try it. But later I will explain. Not this class, maybe the season 2 if we have. So range. So what will be the value of range? Could you give me what will be the 4 times, right? So 4 sides. So always end with the colon. Then the carrot need move and move and move and another move. Oops. Okay, then put beeper. Then turn left. Very simple. We don't have to type move. So always just 4 times of this one. So check it. Run it. So here, run the program. Move. Put beeper, turn left. Move. Put beeper, turn left. Move. Put beeper, turn left. Move. Put beeper, turn. Yay! So if you have an error, don't worry. Okay, it's totally fine. Please, because I have been doing the same thing the number of times, so I didn't mistake. Even sometimes I mistake. So error is not a problem. Error can help for you to improve your skill. So please try to fix it. Okay? It's a very simple problem. Question: from my code, is there any way to improve my code? Improve means, can we simplify my code? What is most annoying part from my code? Yes. So Jonathan and Brandon. So this is repeated. We really had it whenever we see the repeated. So we can make the what? Function of what? So move to corner. So let's make the move to corner. How many times move? 4 times. So we don't have to. Then instead of this, so we can use move to corner. Make sense? Make sense? Let's try. Run the program. It looks good so far. Probably, hopefully, yes, we did. So we can improve the code like this. Then, can you make it better? Anyone who suggests? We just run what? Maybe. What do you think, Katie? Using what? How we can improve this code? We just learn for loop, for repetition, iteration. So this is a 4 times of move. So can you make this one like the 4? I in range. How many times? Move, move, move. 4 times move, right? Then move. Looks better. Don't you think the better than the previous one? This definitely. So check it. Always you need to check. So computer answer with output. Do not just judge without the result. Do it. Yeah, it's the same result, but it's better. Okay, so somebody may ask why this one is better. So I don't like that this complicated. It's really complicated, but it's easy to understand. Then, actually, so I'd like to mention about this quote from the very famous the mathematician. So one of the popular mathematician and the philosopher was Russell. So I'm not sure whether you heard about the Bertrand Russell. And also there are many other the mathematicians mentioned that number is beautiful. Whether or not you agree, mathematics is a beauty. So similarly, in computer science, computer programming is not beauty, it's a simple. Okay, simple is the best. So why don't you open the Google search. In your Google search, so type like this, Python simple gen. Right. So gen of Python. Why don't you open the gen of Python? Then see this one. Somebody actually write this. Then what is the kind of philosophy of Python programming? You don't have to worry about everything, but you can see the simple is better than complex. Always, when we are doing the computer, it's not only for the Python. So most of computer programming, so simple is the best. Simple is better than complex. And they said the beautiful, but I cannot find any beauty from the code, but the simple is better than complex. Okay, that's the reason we are using. Also, in really, performance is better. Later, I will probably maybe next week, I will talk about the why. So such a simple is better and why simple is fast and efficient. Okay, so let's solve another problem because you are doing really great. So by combining all of this, like the function and the for loop, can you do this one? So this is it's as similar as a corner beeper, but we are going to put 5 beeper for each corner. Okay, we are going to put the 5 beeper each corner. So this time, why don't you use the new code? Then you can actually start it again and refresh your idea of the for loop. So why don't you start with the corner 5 beeper? Okay. I'm going to solve the problem together. But please try to solve the problem by yourself. So I'd like to show the problem again. So caret start bottom left, okay, south, the west corner, then move to the next and put 5 beeper and move 5 beeper and move 5 beeper and move 5 beeper, okay. I will give the first the couple of minutes, then you guys can start the code by yourself. So if you solve the problem already, please give me a thumbs up. Anyone? Let's see who solved the, wow, Amanda already solved the problem. Very nice. Very nicely done. Anyone else? Let's see. Yes, Claire, very nice. Katie did. When I took the math class in my college, so the math professor said there are many different ways to solve a mathematical problem. So you can, it's like climbing the mountain. So when you climb up the mountain, top of the mountain, there are a bunch of different ways. Think about the Everest. Everest, every time the people try to find a new route. But first time, you'd better follow the general rule, general path, okay? So then maybe next time, if another route is better than the previous one, that's good. If not, but you learn something. In computer programming, there's no exactly same the code. Even though this problem, most of students is different, totally fine. You don't have to try to copy my code, okay? Your code may be better. So let's start together, solve the problem. So we can use the for loop that we have used before, like the for loop for how many times? In the 4 times. Don't forget, this is the common mistake, the colon, and also indentation. Then we are going to move, okay? Move to the next corner. Oh, I like to have the move to the next corner. This one, okay? After we move to the next corner, we are going to put 5 beeper. We did that before, right? 5 beeper. This is called a decomposition, okay? Then, so we need to create a function. Put 5 beeper. So 5 beeper, how can you? You can put the put beeper, but we learned the for loop. For I in range 5. So we need to put the 5. Then put beeper. Then another function. So we put the 5 beeper. We did the move to the corner. Then this one move to corner. This. Then what will be 4? So how many times? The 4 times, right? And move. Okay, that's it. We need to do turn left, right? Don't forget turn left. So looks like the good. You guys, I think most of you can easily understand right now, even though if I type this code at the first time, nobody understands what's going on. So what happened? But right now, even though I don't explain a lot, but you guys can understand the code. However, it should work, so we are going to. It's error. Why is error? Put beeper. Let's see the put file. It looks okay. Why there is error? Anyone give?
Colon.
Oh, I forgot. Thanks so much. That's common mistake, really. So run the program. Little bit speed up. Yes, it works. So very nice. Because you guys are so good, I'd like to give one more the challenge. So I don't explain a lot, but why only 5? Anyway, it's not just a 5, like the many beeper. Then can I specify the number of beeper? So like sometimes 10, sometimes 20, like that. Please try at your home. I don't teach the details, but you can search the Google and try to find a way. Can I put any number of a beeper? Okay, so thanks so much. Before we leave, so please, and last thing, so please evaluate today's lesson. Then this is not homework, but next class I will explain. I will give the answer for the challenging problem. Please try. So, but if you don't like the problem, so just ignore it. You don't have to be stressful. Okay, thanks so much. We will see next week, the Tuesday. Thank you. Unji and Trini will be here until all of you leave. So if you have any question, please stay and ask a question. Okay, thanks so much. So this is the today's evaluation. Half of you like it, really like it, and most of you, and thanks so much.